Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids. Today we're looking at this, which is the GOSHAWK. This is a tomahawk that is custom made over at H&B Forge. This is also a collaboration project between my friend Michael over at Pine Fire and H&B Forge. He contacted me and said, hey, we've worked in the past together. Would you be interested in checking out this tomahawk? And I was like, yes, absolutely. So I've had a chance to use this thing a bit. We're going to use it more on camera today. For some of the projects I work on, I get products and I get to hold on to them. This one, he asked me to send back to them because they don't have a lot of them just floating around. But I may buy this one because I like this thing so much. So this is the GOSHAWK. It stands for Go Out Solo, G-O-S, GOSHAWK. $10.95 is your steel. You got that pommel on the back. We have some divots here for bow drill fire, so you can actually, use this thing and use it as a bow drill socket. It is wrapped here. You've got a 23-inch hickory handle, has been burnished. This thing is a lot of fun to use. For me, when I think about tomahawks, I'm always comparing them to axes. So what's better, a tomahawk and axe? They've made some modifications on this compared to some other tomahawks I've used that makes this one extremely usable, and this thing cuts really, really well. So let me show you this thing in use. Let's get to some chopping, and we'll talk about if this could be good for you to put into your outdoor emergency survival camping system. Now this is pine, so it's a bit of a softer wood, but look how thick this piece of wood actually is. I mean, look at my hand grabbing around this thing. So that thing did some quick work. Excellent. One of the cool things about this hawk is you can actually take the head of it off and then use it as a smaller cutting tool. I'm gonna just show you that even with it on, because of this cutout here, you can lock your hand in and still do some of that smaller detail work. Just a little look at what the GOSHAWK is capable of doing. Even as a tomahawk, still some of that, feathering, smaller work, it can get the job done. I want to show you how well this thing chops. It really digs into the wood aggressively. So I'm going to do kind of a lighter swing, a medium swing, and then a more aggressive swing. And we'll show you with the camera up close how deep it digs in. So we'll start off with a lighter swing, and we're cutting into some dead cedar here. So that's not super aggressive, but we basically have the polished edge is completely inside the wood. So there's a more aggressive swing, and obviously you could see it's probably, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch into this piece of cedar. Now we're going to give it a real hefty swing. As you can see, we hit some of that heartwood there, but it's I mean, it is still deep into that wood for A, how hard the wood is, and B, how hard I was swinging. So yeah, I mean, this thing really gets into the wood quite well. We're going to do quite a strong swing into some softer wood. This is pine. Yes, I mean, look at that. That is just buried in there. Obviously, you don't want to swing overly aggressively with an axe or a hatchet or a tomahawk just for safety purposes, but when you do put some force behind it, it really digs in. Alright guys, let's wrap up here talking about the GOSHAWK. First thing I'll tell you is that I just like tomahawks. I think they're kind of a cool concept. There's some history behind them. And then also the fact that you've got chopping power. You can really swing and get some good leverage, but you've got, usually it's going to be lighter weight than your average axe. The other advantage is that if your handle on an axe does break, it's just a lot easier to reset the head onto a tomahawk as opposed to the head onto an axe. Now, how often do axe handles break? If they're well made, probably not that often, but for me, nice to have that backup as well. Just there's a cool factor to tomahawks too. I just kind of like the concept in general. Now, this one in particular, what stands out to me? First thing I'll tell you is that they do put the bow drill divot here. So that, I contacted Michael and I said, hey, I think you'd probably want to make that a little bit deeper and maybe not as wide. The width, it's not as big a deal as I'd want more depth in it, because on a bow drill at the top of that spindle, you want to have it a little bit more pointed so you're creating less friction against your handhold. In general, that's what people do when they make a spindle. So I talked to them and they're already changing it. They're already going to make some adjustments to that to make it a little bit deeper so it can be used as a bow drill divot. You saw it chopped well. I like the fact that they put this kind of utility edge here on the bottom. It's not razor sharp, but it is another option, another tool you have within the tomahawk, which is cool. This thing cut really well. It obviously cut deep. I showed you a couple different times, but I think the best thing about it is actually the shape of the handle. You see that there, how it kind of tapers together, kind of sort of like a raindrop. That for me is a huge win for this tomahawk. So other tomahawks I've used, they've basically got like a rounded handle, which is fine because it's comfortable. But this for me right here, the fold of my hand goes right into where kind of the point of the raindrop is. And even point is not, it's too strong a word. It's not aggressive. It's not going to cut your hand. But I just feel like I have way more control on this tomahawk than I have had on other tomahawks, woods tomahawks that I've used. You know, a tactical tomahawk, like an urban type thing. The handles are generally different. You got G10 scales or something. But this, I would say, out of all the tomahawks I've ever used, the handle is the best. You see I got a little blood there. You see that? Not from the hawk. That's from when I was chopping and actually banged my finger against a little bit of wood. Anyhow, yeah, that is a major win for me with this hawk, because in other woods tomahawks, my issue is that I feel like it's slipping out of my hand. People say, well, just wrap it, with tennis racket tape or hockey tape or something. Yeah, you could do that. That's true. But this thing comes ready to go, and the way the handle is contoured, really easy to chop and to maintain control of the hawk while you're doing that. Now, your price point for this from H&B Forge and Pine Fire is $100. To get additional accessories with the hawk, you can go over to H&B Forge's website, which I've put down below, as well as Pine Fire's website, because I just want to let you know about the things they do as far as fire starting gear and such, so you can check them out. Back to the hawk though, $100 for this, USA made. They've got their little H&B Forge stamp on it up here on the head of it. See if you can see that. Right, yeah, right there, H&B. So, for $100, when I asked him how much it was and he was like $100, I was like, that's to me quite reasonable for something that somebody is, putting their time and effort into making, and it's not just a, something that's pumped out of a factory. I like this thing. Like I said at the beginning, I may actually purchase this one or one similar to it and start using it even more. Now, the downside to a tomahawk is you're just not going to get the same amount of chopping power as you would out of like a felling axe, or a large, like a 30-inch, let's say, woods axe. I just don't think you're going to get the same power. The head's smaller, it's going to be a little bit lighter, but you're going to still get quite a bit of chopping power from something like this. And there's a cool factor for me with tomahawks, and I think this thing definitely definitely has it. So I want to give a shout out to H&B Forge and Pinefire. Thanks for sending this along for me to review. And again, down in the description section, head over to their websites, H&B Forge and Pinefire, and find out what they have to offer. Thanks as always for checking out the videos here on YouTube. Got a couple more videos right here queued up for you. Please subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids if you haven't done so already. We're on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well. And as I like to always say, more videos coming soon. Take care.